today we're going to do pasta. Today we're going to do pasta using Fusco Imports 3-flour pasta blend. Did I say that right? 3-flour pasta blend. You try saying that 100 times real quick. And what we're going to do is we're going to do it all by hand. Handmade pasta is the best. Why? I don't know. It just is. What we're going to start with is our flour, our 3-flour pasta blend. And we're not going to use any eggs, because with this particular blend of flour, you don't need eggs. All you need is water and a little salt and a mixer and your hands. And then I'll show you how we're going to set up a little machine. If you don't have one, it's you can substitute the macaroni machine, which I'll show you, with rolling it out on your own, and then it's called rustico. You roll it up and you cut it yourself in whatever shape you want. So we're going to do this right now. Usually I don't measure anything. See, there's nothing in it. I don't measure, but because you're my customers, and you may not be as adept at this as I am, because I've been doing it for so long. I'll measure, okay? 1 cup. 2. 3. 4 cups we're going to use. See, that's why I don't like it, because it's a pain in the neck. Take a look at this. You see that flour? See how nice and yellow it is? There's 3 different kinds of flour in here. And the reason there's 3, because what we always wanted in fresh pasta and the dried pasta, when it dries, it's just as good. We wanted to have that silkiness that you get from one flour, but we also want the binder that comes with the semolina, and so that's in there. You can see it. Okay, 4 cups. Now we're going to add our salt and water, mix it up, show you how it's done. Okay, we got our water, salt, flour, 3-flour pasta blend, Fusco Imports. All right. It's not fancy. We don't do it, look at this. I want to make it as easy as possible for you. I want you to get the best possible product, but I want you to do it the easy way. It's a teaspoon of salt. We don't need much more salt. The reason you don't want to put a lot of, you got to have a little taste to it, but you don't want a lot of salt in, you don't want a lot of salt in anything, but you don't want a lot of salt in this, because whatever your sauce is going to be, probably going to have salt in it anyway. You don't want to detract from the complementary values of pasta, sauce. You understand? I know you do. Okay, so what we're going to do with this, I like to mix in the salt on its own. Mix it in before we get going with this, because you don't want it to sit there and then... Alright. This is, I got this out of Australia. It's a really, not a very good one, but it works. It works okay. Now I have 2 cups of water here. We're not going to use 2 cups. And one of the things you got to be careful of is when you're looking for, in homemade pasta, you're looking for maybe a 30%, maybe a little more moisture content, okay, in your flour. You don't want it to, you don't want this to get like pizza dough or anything. You don't want it to get that watery, with that moisture content. What you want, well, I'll show you what you want. So, we'll start that. Okay, we're going to start pouring in a little water. Okay, see how that's getting there? Okay. And we'll show you in a minute how that comes together. Okay, that was like 2/3 of a cup of water. We're going to add a little more. You don't want it, you got to be very careful when you add the water. You don't want it to get too sloppy, because then you got to start adding flour and this and that. But you'll see it when it comes together in like little. You'll know that it's pretty close when it's like little chunks of flour that have water in it. It doesn't come together like a regular dough. It's not supposed to. See, that's getting pretty close. Now, of course, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to knead it yourself, and I'll show you how to do that. It's not too hard. Good for you. Good exercise. All right, a little touch more water. Now I'm going to stop this so you can see. See what I mean? See this? That's what you want. Okay? That's what you want. It's a little sticky, not too much. You don't want it to be too wet. Okay, so we used exactly a cup of water, 4 cups of Fusco's 3-flour blend pasta flour, and a teaspoon of salt. And it's mixing up. You don't need the dough hook on this. You mix it up like this, and you can see the consistency is exactly where we want it. You got little chunks. Beautiful. Now I'm going to show you how to put it together and knead it. Alright, so we let this go, I don't know, that's been on for a good 8-9 minutes, maybe a little more. Take this thing off. Okay, see the dough? See it? What we're going to do is we're going to press it together like this, right in the bowl. Okay, we're going to make a ball out of it, a rough ball. Okay. See? That's what it looks like. And that's what we're going to start to knead. Okay? In a minute. See, I wanted to show you 4 cups of flour, 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of salt gives you 2 pounds, almost exactly 2 pounds of pasta. Now, when you make it and you dry it, it's going to be a little less, for the obvious reason, right? The water is going to dissipate. It's going to evaporate in the dough. Okay, we're going to get the kneading thing now. Okay, I'm going to show you how to knead this. You got to have a real stable surface to do this in, but you don't have to do too much, and I'll show you why. Just get it nice so that everything's kind of blended together. See? A little more. Okay? Keep going until you have a nice, smooth ball of dough. I'm going to tell you something. This Fusco's blend of 3 flours, even the dough looks good. Look at that. Now hang on, I'm going to show you what to do with this. You're going to get some olive oil and a bag. This is great exercise, by the way. And what you're going to do is put some olive oil in your hand, like so. You're going to rub. You're going to give the ball of dough a little rub. You don't want to know why you do this. Same thing you do when you do pizza. If you don't put oil on the top of it, if you don't oil it up, it gets a crust. It starts to get dry. You don't want dry dough. Nobody wants dry dough. I don't want dry dough. You don't want dry dough. Take this. Stick it in a bag. I'm going to wash my hands. Okay. So I'm done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this up nice and tight. Like that. Right? Just going to loosely so I can get it done later. Okay, so I can undo it later. And I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and let it rest for about 15 minutes, maybe 50. Well, you know what you could do actually is you could make this. You come back tomorrow and use it. That's how good this stuff is. But we're going to do it maybe 15 minutes. We'll let it rest, and then we'll show you how to make the best pasta you ever tasted in your life. And I'm not kidding you. Okay, as you can see, we've got our Atlas Marcato pasta making machine. You can get these pretty much anywhere. I mean, eBay, and there's a place in Philadelphia called Fantes, FANTES.com, I believe it is. We're going to be featuring them at a discount on our site relatively soon. But in the meantime, you know, if you want to, you can get them anywhere. You can get them. I think you can get them at Walmart's. Don't get any other brand. Get the Atlas Marcato. It's the best. I mean, you can see these things they're built beautifully. Stainless steel. You never wash them with water. Besides, it's just flour. You know, what's the big deal? But anyhow, this is the attachment. We're going to make linguine today, and so you slap that on there, okay? And in preparation for, you notice we got this big board, okay? And the bigger the better, because you're going to need it. And what we do is we take some regular flour, you know, as a matter of fact, this is our bread blend, because we don't do all-purpose around here. And you spread it around like that. You're going to need, you know, you're going to need some flour. So what you want to do is just have that ready, okay? And then we're going to start making pasta. We've been letting our dough sit for, I don't know, maybe half an hour, an hour, not even, no, half an hour, and in the refrigerator, okay? And what we're going to do now is we're going to unwrap it. I'm going to show you, I don't know if you can see this, see that? I'm going to show you how. You notice we kneaded it, but we still have, you know, some cracks in it. But it's nicely formed. And what we're going to do, I hope you can see this, is we're going to cut a chunk off, just like that, okay? And then we're going to take this and we're going to wrap it back up. And we'll stick this back in the refrigerator. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to put the machine to its lowest setting on this particular machine. This is the 150. I have two. This is the 150, and there's a bigger one called the 180. But what we're going to do is we're going to set the thing at its lowest, okay, the widest, the roller's the widest, and we're going to press this down a little bit, okay, just to get it going. And then we're going to just run it through the machine, like so. See that? Now you fold it over, and you go through a couple of times. The reason you want to do that is you can see, the more you do it, the better it looks. It gets smoother as you go along. See? Now we don't care if it's even or, you know, what we care about right now is consistency. See, and now what I'll do is you measure a little bit here like this, and you cut it off just so you can, and then you put that piece on there and you send it through one more time. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to keep going. We're going to set it to number 2. It gets thinner and thinner, of course. Run it through. Number 3. See how nice that's going? Look at that. It's beautiful. It's very forgiving dough too. If you make a mistake, just ball it up and start all over again. This is number 4. Now, if you want to go a little thick on your pasta, okay, because it'll plump up when you boil it, obviously. I go to number 5 here. It gives it a nice 6 is a little thin. 7, you know, when you want to get down to that angel hair stuff, but I don't do that. Number 5. The setting on at number 5 gives you this nice, beautiful sheet of pasta. What we're going to do is we floured our board. We're going to put it right on top of the flour, and then what we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle some flour on the thing. Now, for when we hand make pasta for our customers, we have a lot of people doing a lot of different things, but what we do is we measure the pasta so that we have a little marker so that it's 12 inches long. But you don't have to do that. You listen, you can just fold it like this in half, see? Then you cut it like so, and then you're going to put, that's the spaghetti. You're going to put this in here, and I'll show you how to do that. Watch how nice this comes out. You just roll it through, right? And you collect it like this. And there you go. Look at that beautiful pasta. Oh, it smells unbelievable. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hang the pasta on our drying rack. See what we got here? We got this gigantic drying rack. So you can do about, we make these, by the way, you can buy these, $25 right off the site. But they take a little bit to make. We make everything by hand. So, but this will hold like 10 pounds of pasta, this rack. And because we do so much of it, and we sell it at farmers markets and everything. See that piece? Reject. We'll wrap it into the other dough. See, I'm just showing you how we can do this. Because you're going to let it dry. Okay? You're going to let it dry. Now I want to tell you, this is some beautiful pasta. Now here's the thing. You could actually, you could actually cook this right now if you wanted to. You don't have to let it dry. And some people would tell you that this is the best, fresh like this. As far as I'm concerned, you make a ton of it, and then you can freeze it, you can bag it after it's dried, and you can use it. It's good for. How long does pasta last? You could probably 300 years from now you could probably eat it. But don't forget, this is not made with eggs, so there's no cholesterol in it. And the reason we don't need eggs in this, the reason you need eggs in when you use regular flour and all-purpose flour is because you need a binder. But not so when you use Fusco's 3 blend. Because we took that into consideration when we began experimenting with blending different types of flours to get this kind of fine pasta. We didn't want you to have eggs to do it. We wanted it to be simple. Water, salt, flour, boom, pasta. Okay, there's not an awful lot more to this, so we'll run another one of these through, just to kind of show you. Gotta get it in there. How beautiful this is done. There's not, like I say, there's not an awful lot to making homemade pasta. But the difference in taste, if you've never eaten homemade pasta, I can tell you this, you don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you're missing. So that's all you have to do. That's me. Now, once again, if you don't have one of these machines, I think they're like, I don't know, 70, 80 bucks. But they last forever. I've had this, I'm going to say, for maybe 30 years. So Atlas Marcado, we'll be selling them on our site relatively soon, and we're gonna discount them. So because we're more interested in you buying our flour than the machine, but we want you to have everything. So once again, 3 flour pasta, Fusco Imports. Thank you for being with us. I'm Peter Fusco. Next, we're gonna be doing bread. Everybody loves bread. But Italian bread is the best. Hard crust Italian bread. I'm going to show you how to make it using our 3-blend bread dough or bread flour. Okay, see you again. And that's what 2 pounds of pasta looks like when you're done. It's beautiful. Now, as I say, what you can do is you can toss this right into the pot right now if you want it. It's fresh. You know, I mean, look, see? But if it's dried, it'll look something like this. This is our Reginette. We sell this by the, actually in 5-pound lots, because the shipping just is ridiculous. It's worth it, I mean, in, you know, in the final analysis, but this... And we sell, you know, like a tomato rustica, which is hand cut, spinach linguine. We sell, we're going to be selling a kind of, they call it lasagnette. And, of course, the linguine. And fettuccine. We make fettuccine too. You can buy it in 5-pound bags. We ship it very nicely, so when you get it, there's hardly any pieces broken. But you know, you can make it yourself, and this is one of the reasons we produce and sell our 3 flour blend flours. 3 blend, however you want to say.